Hello Nation, and welcome back to the homestead. Well, today I have a question for you guys. How many of y'all have been adding compost, adding straw to your garden, adding good mulch, adding all that organic material to have it just all completely just washed away after just a massive rainstorm? You had a great garden one year, and then the next year you have to redo that process all over again. Well, we have struggled with that same situation here on our homestead for many years, but now we found the solution. Now, we moved to our forever homestead about 11 years ago. And during that time, we have struggled to have a very successful garden. And look, we did everything. We tilled, we brought the cows in, brought the chickens in, brought the pigs in, added compost, added organic matter, just to watch it go all to the backyard or down into the pond after a big, heavy rainstorm. So because of that problem here on our homestead for the last several years, we just said, okay, we're just gonna do everything in raised beds. And if you guys have been with us a while, you'll remember when we took and just completely redid our front yard and put like 40 some raised beds in here and grew a lot of vegetables here in just this small space in our front yard. But that all changed when we hooked up with Jay from Steck Equipment, and he came out for a visit to our homestead. And he took one look around, and he walked around, and he grabbed a hold of some dirt, and he told us that our problem was not just our lack of topsoil, but it was something called our subsoil. Okay, so what is your subsoil? Well, you know, some people will even call that your pan, your hard pan. But basically, what your subsoil is that layer of soil right below your topsoil. Now, a lot of focus is always on the topsoil with people measuring their pH, how much nitrogen, how much phosphorus, all that stuff is in there. But in order for that stuff to stick around, just like with building a house or just building a homesteading lifestyle, you have to start with a solid foundation, and that's where your subsoil comes in. Okay, so here's where the major problem lies for probably 90% of us. Here on our homestead, it was really bad. See, our subsoil was compacted, just like a lot of y'all's. Ours was compacted and it was like concrete, which meant anytime that we added the compost or we added fresh topsoil and we tried to mulch and brought the organic matter in here, any hard rain that would come, all of those nutrients and all of that healthy stuff for the soil and for the plants would wash away. It also prevented any of our plants that had a long root ball or any of our root vegetables from being able to do well, because it hit that concrete and couldn't do anything with it. So as Jay walked around, he started to explain to us exactly what we needed to do. And so Jay suggested a piece of equipment that attaches to our 3-point harness on the back of a tractor called a subsoiler. Now, attaching it to the back of the tractor gave us the ability to control the depth that we went in. But Jay said, since we did not know exactly when the last time our subsoil was busted up, that he suggested we go as deep as we could go. We went and got the subsoiler from Steck Equipment. Now we're going to pass on some tips that we learned through Jay there at Steck Equipment on how to properly use this to be able to get the maximum benefit out of using this piece of equipment. First off is in your garden plot where you're going to bust up your subsoil, he said to go at a 45-degree angle and go in both directions. That way you bust up that subsoil really good, and then try to angle the direction that you're going to the way that you want your overflow to flow. You just put that puppy down in there and it does all the work. Now, you may hit a large rock in your subsoil. All you do is then you just raise it up, and if it doesn't come up, then you're gonna have to back up. You do not want to bust this piece of equipment. And then come up, go over it down as far as you can, and keep going. Sometimes you may it may not be a hard rock. It just, your subsoil may be that hard. Hence the reason why, if it's never been done, the suggestion is to go both ways. You want to bust that up as much as you can. Now, this is not the only step into taking hard compacted soil and bringing it back to life. This is just the one step that we're talking about here today. Now, there will be future videos where we show the rest of the steps on how to go from having a hard subsoil and struggling to get a halfway decent garden to being able to grow corn that's as tall as me. So y'all be on the lookout for that next video. If this is your first time here, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and the bell. If you like this video, hey, give it a thumbs up. And hey, if you hear me talk, you heard me talking about Jay throughout this video and Steck Equipment. If you want to see that video when Jay came to visit our homestead, go ahead and click on it right here in this end screen. Thanks for coming by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless and have a nice day.